It's been interesting because since your article dropped, I gotta say, it has got all the buzz. If you are on X, if you're on Instagram, TikTok for the young kids, you know that Caitlin Clark is the Time Athlete of the Year. How has your 24 hours been since the articles dropped?
It's been awesome, and just the reaction. Obviously, people so excited not only about women's basketball, but about women's sports, and how excited and deserving, not only myself, but just women's sports as a whole.
Caitlin Clark has just made history, becoming the first WNBA player to win Time Athlete of the Year. But not everyone's applauding.
Cheryl, I'll start with you. What's your reaction to Caitlin Clark winning Time Magazine Athlete of the Year?
I don't think I'm surprised. I'm curious to know who the other candidates were.
In a twist that's both unexpected yet somehow unsurprising, Sheryl Swoopes, four-time WNBA champion and now Clark's harshest critic, had some strong opinions about this historic win. In this video, we're unpacking the controversy, the backlash, and the remarkable way Clark responded. She had the perfect chance to clap back, but what she did instead left everyone stunned. Here's why her response is a lesson in grace and leadership.
I've grown up a huge women's sports fan, whether it was basketball, whether it was soccer, whether it was volleyball, you go down the list. Like, I grew up loving it and watching it, so it's pretty special. Like, it doesn't really feel real that I get to be here, but an amazing honor.
Picture this, Caitlin Clark on top of the world after being named Time Athlete of the Year, but not everyone is raising a glass to celebrate. Enter Sheryl Swoopes, WNBA legend turned critic, stirring up drama on the Gills Arena podcast.
The fact that that's the very first WNBA player to ever win Time Magazine Athlete of the Year is pretty special. And my question is, like the criteria, is it based off of her performance on the court, which, yeah, she had a great year, or is it more about the impact that she had on the game this season?
Instead of offering congratulations, Swoopes went on a rant, questioning the criteria behind Clark's win. "I'm just trying to understand what the criteria is," she said, her tone dripping with doubt. But she didn't stop there. Swoopes even threw out other names she believed were more deserving. It was like watching a slow-motion train wreck, leaving fans and analysts alike scratching their heads and wondering what's really behind her words.
Put Asia Wilson in there.
That was just basketball.
So that's what I'm saying. Was it just the performance on the court, or
it's global?
Else?
I think it's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Digging deeper into Swoopes' comments, a pattern begins to emerge. This isn't her first jab at Clark. Remember when Clark shattered the NCAA scoring record? Swoopes was right there, ready to downplay her achievement, questioning how impressive it really was given the game's evolution since the record was set.
Just keeps putting a light on the sport for everybody else to eat. And, sometimes, just as athletes, we are competitive by nature. And, we don't like when someone's getting something that we don't think they deserve, right? When we've been in a game.
And then there's the moment she asks, "What about Aja Wilson?" leaving listeners in disbelief. Was this just a slip-up, or is there something deeper at play? Swoopes' remarks hint at a larger clash, old-school traditions colliding with the fresh face of women's basketball. Once the symbol of the sport, Swoopes now finds herself watching from the sidelines as Clark leads a new wave of fans into the future.
Well, it's been a crazy year. It's hard to think about. Like, I was basically just starting my senior year of college at this time last year. And then I graduated. I missed my college graduation, got drafted here in New York City, basically moved right to Indianapolis, and basically start like a whole new chapter of your life instantly, and you don't really have much time to adjust. But lucky enough, I had a really great support system and family around, and I'm from the Midwest, so didn't take me too long, but this past year has just been amazing.
The basketball world is reeling. Swoopes, a player who once inspired countless young athletes, including a young Caitlin Clark, is now coming across as bitter and out of touch. Her comments have ignited fiery debates on social media, with fans and players taking sides. But here's the kicker. While Swoopes critiques Clark, her star only burns brighter. Her record-breaking performances and massive fan base speak for themselves, creating a stark contrast. One legend stuck in the past, the other charging boldly into the future.
It's fun to reflect back and think about all the amazing things that I was able to accomplish and the people that I got to do it with. I think that's what's made it so special is I've had my family with me the whole time, my friends, amazing teammates, amazing coaches, and it wouldn't be possible without all of them. So just really fortunate.
So how does Clark respond to the criticism? Does she fire back and add fuel to the fire? Or does she rise above it all? Her handling of this controversy could redefine not only her career, but also the trajectory of women's basketball as a whole. Get ready, because Clark's about to show us what true leadership looks like.
The number of Indiana Fever fans I saw and young girls and the way they were lighting up, I mean, you have represented something so special for the sport, but you've drawn eyes to a game that you've always grown up loving. What does that mean to you?
You know, it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around because I'm so focused and so competitive and I love the game. I love playing. I love being in front of the fans. But over the course of probably the last two and a half years, it's all kind of changed where, you know, it's hard to get a ticket whether we're at home or whether we're on the road.
When we said Clark was about to show us what she's made of, we weren't kidding. Her response to the Time Athlete of the Year controversy isn't just surprising, it's groundbreaking. While Swoopes questions her win, Clark is out there breaking records and winning hearts. But how does she address the criticism? By firing back? Not a chance. Clark's high road approach has everyone talking.
A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then you continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important. I have to continue to try to change that. The more we can elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing.
In her Time interview, Clark doesn't dodge the controversy. Instead, she faces it head-on with a level of maturity that's turning heads. Her rise to stardom comes with a refreshing sense of self-awareness that's rare and inspiring.
Thoughts on Caitlin Clark saying she wants to use her platform to elevate black women in the WNBA have been instrumental, obviously, in building that league to what it is. Okay.
So what's the
But Clark doesn't stop there. She goes on to honor the legends who paved the way for her success. And yes, she even mentions Sheryl Swoopes herself. It's a move that shows Clark isn't just an incredible player. She's a class act, on and off the court.
One of the best memories of my childhood, and I think very influential in wanting to be a professional basketball player, wanting to be a great person, having those people to look up to and want to be like one day. So I just try to embody that every single day, and I feel like I have good perspective on, like, basketball isn't my everything. Like, yeah, I love it, and I get to do it, and it's given me a lot of really great opportunities, but at the same time, you know, win or loss, I feel like I try to be the same person.
Clark's response is more than just taking the high road. It's a masterclass in handling criticism with poise and turning a negative into a positive. She's not only defending her achievements, but also elevating the conversation around women's basketball as a whole.
Know how you feel or how you respond to some of those criticisms when you have to deal with something that it's really not your problem. Like, I feel like it's them looking in a mirror a little bit, but it still comes down on your shoulders.
I feel like I always have had really good perspective on everything that's kind of happened in my life, whether that's been good, whether that's been bad. And then obviously coming to the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career.
The contrast between Clark and Swoopes couldn't be clearer. While Swoopes questions and critiques, Clark uplifts and celebrates. Her approach is winning her legions of fans and silencing her critics in the most impactful way. Don't mistake her kindness for weakness, though. Clark's actions speak louder than words. By celebrating those who came before her, she's securing her own legacy in basketball history. Caitlin Clark's Time Athlete of the Year win is more than just a personal triumph. It's a turning point for women's basketball. Despite the controversy, her grace under fire proves she's not just a scoring machine, she's a transformative leader. Clark's impact goes beyond stats and highlights. She's drawing in new fans, boosting ticket sales, and inspiring a generation of young athletes. Her ability to handle criticism with class is a powerful example for athletes across all sports. As fans, we're witnessing the evolution of women's basketball in real time. Clark's rise signals the dawn of a new era, one where women's sports take the center stage they deserve. And that's something we can all celebrate. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.